Hello, and welcome to the Nuttle 3-Minute Week in Review. The purpose of this video and the Nuttle Report and the New Horizon Council website is to conduct a conversation with America that we're not having today. And it is a conversation. I'm sitting in my office. This is a casual video, and for me it's progress to be able to take a video and post it and link it to a website. But what do I mean by this conversation when I say it's just between us? It's a conversation about principles that bind us rather than policy that divides us. And what do I mean by that? We have to determine as Americans what we believe collectively that defines our culture, our future, and what we want to pass on to the next generation. From that, we should establish priorities based upon principles. And the debate should be about priorities, not about policy. Policy should be defined to implement priorities based upon a principle. So whether you're for the Keystone Pipeline or health care or education or pension funds or a social issue, it should be tied to a principle that binds us. It's your opinion on a binding principle on why this is important to the culture of America and the history of our country and the future of our children, but then, and why it is a priority versus some other priority, or the ranking of priorities. And then we can further discuss policy to implement those priorities. We have it just backwards now. We're all about policy. It's exactly the way the colonies were as a confederation when they fought among themselves. What's in it for me? Me first. Nothing for my brother citizen. Nothing that collectively we talk about it so we can advance each other's personal liberties. Now, the issue of the week, on this Thanksgiving week, we would be remiss if it wasn't about Ferguson, Missouri, and really the concept of human dignity. Human dignity was what the Founding Fathers were really trying to maintain at the Constitutional Convention after the Declaration of Independence and the Revolutionary War. Thomas Jefferson believed that we had certain unalienable rights granted to us, given to us by our Creator, and I agree with that. He also further opined in his writings that there were natural laws that each individual had regardless of race or gender or ability or intelligence or position in life. They were natural laws passed down as eternal from the Creator. And if we protected those rights and those laws, human dignity could not only be maintained but advanced. So, what was that process? What was the Constitutional Convention and the Constitution of the United States of America, which was a revolutionary document and is still the principle by which emerging countries are looked to for liberty and human dignity and the process and protocol of governing. Now, what's remiss now? What's happened? Well, sometimes the standard that's set is not easy. I mean, it's not just and fair. Is there overt oppression of one set of society over another in Ferguson? Well, not by design and not overt, but there may be some injustice. So what I would submit is that we have to do is get back to that conversation of the Constitutional Convention of how do we pursue and advance human dignity together as a society and protect each other's rights. And one way to do that is to take the other person's viewpoint and protect your brother citizens' rights and natural rights and liberty before your own. And if they do the same for you, then you combine that dialogue and that conversation into a process and a protocol which maintains a civil society. Now, that is my hope. That is what I would ask us to do as a country in our conversation, tying all debate to principles, then priorities, and then policy. On this Thanksgiving week, I am very grateful for my country, my Constitution, and the hope that together we can produce human dignity by process and protocol. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving.